We went fishing this morning at Bolsa Chica. Didn't have the best of luck, so we came home early. And now we're about to make some homemade discus food. Actually, it's pretty much fish food for any fish. Like all my fish like it. Here's what we got to use so far that we got out. We got a little.
I caught a nice bass today, actually.
Yeah, this guy got a bass, dude. Always catches them, but no one else does. So we got the old multivitamin that we're gonna crush up. We got beef heart, which stinks. We got some salmon that Jason caught again, so it's not even from the store. And we got a bunch of shrimp in here with the shells. We got spirulina powder and paprika. And you need a blender, or what is it, a meat grinder, and chips and salsa for the side to get you through it. So to prepare the beef heart, you just basically want to get out like all these little tubes, whatever they are, veins, and then this like little different colored skin I usually cut off. It's easy to get off, just cut it with a knife. And then when you have little slabs like this that are nice and clean, we're gonna throw it in the meat grinder. One more thing I forgot to mention is that to get beef heart, where I get it is that like there's a little Mexican, not like Mexican deli, I forgot it. It's like a Mexican carniceria, I think it's called.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just go there and it's already packaged up in these packages and it's already semi-clean. But sometimes if you can't find that, you can just go to like a Mexican restaurant or something, like a hole in the wall, and just ask them if they can get it. But sometimes they just give you like a full heart, and that's a lot harder to clean, and that really sucks. So hopefully you live in a city where there's a lot of Mexican food, because if you can't do this or you can't find it, that's a bummer. But usually it's not that hard to find. Just ask around.
Yeah, you could probably even go to like a regular grocery store, and if they have like a butcher or something, and ask them for it.
They'll order it for you for sure.
Yeah, they might have it for cheap.
And just one more thing is, it's better if you cut it up into small chunks like this. It's easier to make sure it's all clean, and it goes in the meat grinder a lot better. So. Alright guys, you can see I crushed up the multivitamin in there. We got the beef heart chunked up there. We got the salmon chunked up, paprika and spirulina. Got the meat grinder ready. So what we have is a pound of shrimp, a half pound of salmon, wild caught by Jason, and basically 2 pounds. It was like 2.5 pounds, but you take out a lot when you remove the fat and the freaking tubes or whatever they're called, the veins or whatever. And so it's like, it was 2.5 pounds, now it's 2 pounds, long story short, damn. The reason why we're doing this is because it's super cheap. The fish we got for free because Jason caught it. We spent money on going on the trip, I guess. But that's like usually like $7 to like $15. I've read the better the fish you use, the more they like it, and I use halibut and salmon only, really, honestly. And the shrimp was like a few dollars at the Mexican market. Yeah, with the shells. The heart was
it was like $1 each.
Yeah, it was like less than $5. Yeah, altogether everything was less than $10. The multivitamins and the paprika and stuff is like a little bit of an investment in the beginning, but it doesn't last you one time, obviously. Like you can use it over and over and over. So it's pretty cheap to do this. I think like the first time I did it, when I got all the ingredients, like I used a lot more than this, but anyways, it was like around $50. And then I already had the meat grinder, so I forget how much that costs, but you can get everything on Amazon for cheap. Nah. We put it through one time, through the meat grinder. Now we're gonna add the spirulina and paprika, and then we're going to run it back through 2 more times. Sorry for the little burp there. So 1 spoon of paprika and like 1 tablespoon or teaspoon, like as much as, just no more than 1 tablespoon of spirulina powder. I don't even know if you need to use that, but I read that some people use it and I used it in the past, so I'm going to use it again. Any fish food that you have on hand, I have like a bunch of flakes, so I'm going to throw 2 handfuls of that in there. So now I'm just like kind of mixing it together a little bit, but I'm about to put it back through the meat grinder. Here we go, it's gonna get loud. Alright, now we have everything pretty much ground up. What you do is you put it into plastic bags. For some reason I only have small ones, so this kind of sucks. But you grab everything, just shove it into a plastic bag, and then you flatten it out into like a flat like ice cube, or like a flat cube of meat, probably like a 1/4 inch thick, and then you throw that in the freezer. And then the next step is you break that into chunks and put it through the salad shooter. We got the food all bagged up in the freezer. This is what it looks like. Just a flat bag. I usually just put it on the bottom of my freezer if I have room. The beef heart is frozen. Check it out. Frozen beef heart. You can hear it's nice and frozen. So what I'm going to do is smash this into small pieces with a hammer, and then we're going to throw it into the old salad shooter. Oh, there we go. Already making a mess. Alright, I'm going to go clean up the mess I just made because it shot out of the bag just like I didn't want to happen. And we'll get right back to it. So this is the salad shooter. It has a little plunger right here. So you just load up the beef heart in there and shove it in. And it's gonna come out here. Load in the chunks first here. Oh, got it everywhere. This stuff smells, so you gotta do what you gotta do to get your fish food, huh? Alright, got the salad shooter all cleaned up. Got the food in the freezer. I always wash my hands after because they stink, but the fish really like it. It's like the most perfect fish food. It's really cheap to make. Doesn't take that long, and it's pretty easy cleanup. The other tip is to, when you're using the salad shooter, make sure you put the pieces of food that are already made in the freezer as soon as you can, because they will start to melt pretty quick and smell. This is an up close of how the food comes out. You can see it's like in little strings. Just to prove to you guys that it's not just for discus, I'll show you the angelfish taking some and the baby discus. There you can see it floating, and there you can see him attacking it. I'm just gonna give him a little bit because it fouls up the water a lot. I'll give him some more flake after I feed the baby discus. They're a little confused because I haven't gave it to them in a while, but you can see they're taking big old chunks out of it and they all like it. There's just one in the corner that hasn't really seen it yet, but once they get a hold of it, they attack it like little piranhas. You can see it's perfect for baby food and it's perfect for adult food. It's like bite size for the adults, and it's pretty much all the babies can just tear into it. It melts almost instantly when you hit the water, so the fish don't get like a frozen chunk in their mouth or anything. Like I was saying earlier, it fouls up the water when you put a bunch of it in, But for your breeders and for your babies, if you give it to them like once or twice a day, maybe before you do a water change, it's definitely not bad. But if you throw a bunch of it in there and don't change the water or leave it for a couple days, especially the uneaten stuff, it's gonna foul the water pretty quick. It's like pure protein, guys, so you just gotta remember that. That's pretty much how you make the beef heart mix. I gave you kind of a little like preview to a recipe. I'm not gonna give you like a specific recipe because there's so many out there and I've read so much stuff. Like I've read livers like even better than beef heart. I've never tried it before, so I'm not a big fan of trying new stuff with Discus because they're so expensive. But I usually try it on like my baby angels. They're super hardy and they love it. So I would feed beef heart. I know a lot of people don't feed it, but it gets your fish really colorful because you're throwing in the extra flake and vitamins and all that. And it's really a lot of protein, so they grow really fast. It's just basically all around like my favorite food to feed fish, to my live bears, to the Discus, to the angel fish, anything at all, honestly. If you have any questions, post below. Maybe I'll give another preview into another time I make it or something, but that's probably gonna be the only time I touch up on that. Maybe I'll talk about it a little when I'm feeding them. But yeah, guys, try it yourself. Let me know how it goes. Check out some different recipes, whatever sounds the best for you. Check out Simply Discus. They have a lot of ideas. Just type in Google Simply Discus beef heart mix and you'll find some really good stuff out there, guys. Don't forget about the internet. Use Google, use YouTube. Like you're watching me right now, type in info for Discus or angelfish, whatever you need. There's so many videos out there. That's how I learned everything. Fishing, taking care of reptiles, taking care of fish, everything. So check it out. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you later, homies.